Okay, folks, today we're gonna be testing Silent Hill F on the RX 9060 XT, and as you can see right now, it's giving me 19 FPS, and that is not good. But it's because I am actually playing at 4K with native quality. And how do I get native quality? Because my game is so fucked up that it's not having any TAA. I've seen some people have TAA and some people don't. So I don't know what it takes in consideration to give you TAA. I don't know. Probably when they actually release the game, because this is like advanced access or early access, if you wanna call it. There's no, probably it's bugged or something. They're gonna fix it with the day one patch. But hey, there's no TAA for me. And the way I do it is I put the FSR quality, which I'm going to be using FSR quality on the native 1-to-1 ratio. Basically, as you can see right now in this scene right here, it says 4K to 4K, which means it is using native quality, and it is in the settings, it's using FSR quality, and I'm using FSR 4 quality, which is now native, but balanced is the quality preset, and performance is still performance. So yeah, as you can see, this is very high settings, and as you can see, performance gave me a little bit of uplift, but I'm gonna use balanced instead. So you can see that it's like, now it's not 19 FPS, it's actually a playable 30 FPS on the, this is what's gonna be like a mid-range kind of like low-end entry, if you want to call it entry or low-end. I consider it the lowest end of this generation in kind of GPUs, in terms of GPUs tiers. And as you can see with FSR quality, let me put FSR quality over there, it's actually, it's in the 30 FPS range, which is pretty good. This GPU can play 4K with 30. This is like the console experience, while looking hell of a lot better than a console, because consoles are they don't have the same kind of ultra settings that you can actually enable. And on top of that, if I go and enable high settings, for example, and drop from epic on very high, go like everything to high instead of very high, and go back to the game, and the game has started to render things from scratch again. As you can see right now, it's not in the lower 30s, now it's the lower 40s, just dropping from epic settings to high settings, which is one step down. And yeah, it's totally playable, and it's using, actually it's using less VRAM than it was using with the 3090. Again, every game with every GPU, it's using different amount of VRAMs that I test. For example, if I test it with a 3090 and then I do the 4090 next, they're gonna be in the same scene, in the same situation. They're gonna be using different amounts of VRAM, but in this one right here, it's using considerably less, because this yesterday was using around 10 gigabytes on 4K, and then when I use DLSS quality, it dropped to around 8, or like, I said like let's round up to 9, because it was like 8.8 something, 8.7, and right now it's using 7.7, which is close to 8 gigabytes of VRAM, but it's considerably less than the 3090 Ti. I see that from all the GPUs that I have, 30 series use more VRAM in games compared to the other GPUs that I have, for some reason, I don't know. And yeah, this is something that's I have no idea why. I keep thinking because it has a lot of VRAM, like 24 gigabytes of VRAM, the game takes advantage of it. But again, this one has 16 gigabytes of VRAM, and it's only using 7. So the VRAM limit is not an equation here. So I don't know what's going on with the games, but the 3090 Ti always uses more VRAM than the 4090, and always uses more VRAM than the 5090 in the same exact scene. All right, so let's go and use FSR performance to see how much performance is it gonna give us in terms of performance. Again, everything is performance. As you can see right now, it's actually at 60ish FPS. It's dropping to 59, 58, now it's 56, 55. And again, like this initial area of the game, like when you take control, like when you start, is the most intensive area of the game. Okay, I've played like 2 hours. I've reached that field of fog and rice field. I don't know if it's rice field or not, but it's a field. And there's those mannequins that's just standing there. And it behaves a little bit better than this, but in the alleyways in the town, it's performing considerably well, like more than this. And as you can see, I'm gonna go there right now, and we're gonna see the performance probably shoot above 60 FPS. So let's just go around. As you can see right now, it is 60 FPS. Just going closer to the town is getting me to 60 FPS. Yeah, for some reason, and again, not for some reason. I know what is the reason. It's just the type of language that we're speaking. Like for some reason, or for a bunch of reasons, I couldn't do this. No, I know what's the reason. It's the vegetation. Okay, the heavy vegetation in the initial area right here is making the game. It's heavy on the GPU. The vegetation is the heaviest thing on the GPU because it has a lot of occlusion, a lot of shading, a lot of stuff to do behind every leaf, and especially now with Lumen. It's using Lumen GI, so it has to include the every leaf of these bushes in the Lumen GI and the global illumination stuff, and the ambient occlusion and the reflections and the lighting, how the lighting behaves. So that's why it is. And as you can see, this is like 66 FPS, and I told you this is gonna shoot past beyond 60, probably gonna go to 70 FPS on DLSS quality. I mean DLSS performance. Okay, right now, as you can see, it did shoot past beyond 60 FPS. Now it's 73. But right now, let's use FSR frame generation or Optiscaler frame generation, because I'm gonna use it on FSR performance because it's the only thing that actually giving me above 60 FPS. FSR quality was giving me below 60 FPS, so I'm gonna keep FSR performance with frame generation. And you see right now the VRAM increased. Of course, with frame generation, the VRAM is always gonna increase. Right now, like by a whole gigabyte, and the FPS also increased from 73 to 120 FPS, and it is actually not, I mean, not bad. Even though like I had like below 9, because I say like 60 is the minimum that you could have, but I prefer 90. There is no performance penalty. I mean, no latency penalty. Again, because I had above 60 FPS. That's why. Even though it's not 90, it's above 60. So 60 is the minimum. Some people like it in 50. Some people like it in even 40. I don't, I see in my comments people say like even in 40 FPS or 30 FPS that DLSS or like FSR frame generation is fine. That's not for me. Okay, I don't know if it's like fine with the controllers, but yeah, for me it's not really an option if I have like below 60 FPS. Some games I would tolerate 60 FPS if they were like a Souls game or something that does not require shooting. But yeah, overall I wouldn't 90 or up. Okay, so not 1440p. I just disabled frame generation. As you can see, this is 1440p. It's 720p upscale to 1440p, but the resolution is 1440p, and the upscaling is because of this. I'm gonna go back to quality, and then right here, as you can see, 1440p to 1440p. I overridden the quality presets to actually include, because I don't have TAA. And let's make this smaller a little bit and go back. And as you can see, it's 79 FPS. This is how and where this GPU actually shows its power. This GPU at 4K was giving me 19 FPS on 4K native, right? At 1440p, it's like triple that. That's like tripled. And I would say it's quadrupled because it's 19 and now 80 FPS. It's quadrupled actually, but I would say it's tripled because it's only because I changed the settings from very high to high. So right now I'm gonna go drop them back, not drop them back, plop them back to very high everything. And let's go back and see what kind of, as you can see, it's tripled. Exactly, it's tripled from 20 to 60. Right now is pretty good, and this is where this GPU actually shines. Like even though like just 1440p, and 1440p is not even half of 4K. It's 33% less than 4K, but it's not half. 1080p is. And this GPU is performing pretty well. Now it's using 9 gigabytes of VRAM again because I put everything in very high. But this GPU does not really have a problem with VRAM utilization or consumption because it's actually you know, pretty good at handling VRAM issues because it has 16 gigabytes of VRAM. That's why. And yeah, right now you can see the 1% lows on, even though I reset them, they're still, you know, 48. They're not really bad because they're still close to the average FPS and the current FPS. So yeah. Okay, right now with the quality upscaling, which is FSR quality, I was gonna say DLSS. It's not DLSS, it's FSR. And this creature is following me for some reason. I did nothing, but this creature is following me. Is it a fog? Is she just... Is this just in her head? I don't know. Yeah, this is pretty... I don't like this. I don't like how the way she just stopped. As you can see right now, this is with FSR quality. It's a little bit more intensive because of those vines and veiny stuff, red stuff. The 1% lows dropped to 28 because of that cinematic that happened. They shouldn't really drop to 28. Come on, run, little girl. After every cinematic, I have to like to make sure that I actually press the go button. As you can see right now, it's a cinematic again, and it's gonna drop to 28 1% lows, which is not really great. I have to keep resetting them after each cinematic. And the disconnect between the high FPS that I had and the 30 FPS cap on the cinematic is just not good. I don't like that. And this monster is relentless. This monster is not letting me go, and it's affecting my FPS. Even with FSR upscaling right now. What the fuck? Where should I be going? I'm stuck. Oh, she got... those vines caught her. Okay. Yeah, they could catch you if you're not careful. Oh shit, I'm stuck. Come on, throw the ladder. Somebody's gonna throw the ladder from up there. I don't want to spoil the story for you. That's why I'm playing it from the beginning again. So, yeah, I mean, now like with the vines gone, it's like 90 FPS. Okay. Use 2 of them. All right, this is what I'm gonna meet that that mannequin that's gonna try to kill me. All right, so let's actually switch to FSR performance, equipment in options, graphics, and then go FSR performance and go back. And as you can see, it's 116 FPS, close to 150 FPS. Close to 120 FPS, not 150. I was wrong. I don't know why I said 150, but it's pretty smooth. Even without frame generation, it's pretty smooth. On 4K, I could only do that with frame generation on FSR performance, but now I could do it just with the FSR performance without frame generation. And the 1% lows are in the 90, so it's pretty good. Pretty good. I know that there's nothing over there, so I'm not gonna try again to go to that spot. All right, so let's use frame generation. Actually, I forgot to switch that to FSR performance, but let's use frame generation and activate it right now. As you can see, it's 200. Well, I thought it was gonna go to 200, but it's not. It's like it stopped at 95, 195 FPS. Oh, it is 200 right now. Don't take into consideration that when it's switched to limited by CPU, it's just because the frame time of the GPU is way less than the CPU right now, because the CPU is not involved in the making of fake frames. Okay, it's only the GPU that is involved in that, and yeah, right now it's saying CPU. It's flagging the CPU as it's as a bottleneck, even though it's not a bottleneck. It's not really a bottleneck in my GPU or anything. It's just because the frame time of the CPUs are high, because now the GPU is reporting like 0 milliseconds in its frame time. The frame generation makes it confused. Okay, here's what that thing's gonna show up. With 200 FPS, it doesn't really matter. Very high settings, 200 FPS, doesn't really matter. Hold to close. I know what to do right now, and I'm gonna run away because I don't have any weapon to fight as of right now. Even like an epic lumen and stuff, it's really responsive and it's really playable with frame generation. It's not laggy, it's not unresponsive, and it's not feeling like it's heavy. That heaviness of frame generation is not there, because again, I have a high frame rate, base frame rate, and that is why it's not affecting my and as you can see, the 1% lows always drop below half of the FPS, because frame generation confuses the shit out of the performance metrics calculations. Okay, now let's remove frame generation, right? And let's go and remove upscaling so that I can see what's the difference, not equipment, in options, graphical options, and so that I can see the difference between let's go back to native, between high and very high. So right now it's 55 FPS. Let's remove those from there as well. Yeah, I forgot to remove them. And let's go back to high instead of very high and see how much performance that can yield in native quality. And as you can see right now, it is saying 1440p to 1440p, which means that there is no upscaling. Even though it says in the menu FSR quality, I did override that to use FSR native AA. All right, so right now in the menu, it is from very high to high. I mean, outside the game, not in the menu. From 55 FPS in like very high and epic lumen to 73. So that's almost a 20 FPS boost. I would say 15, you know, between 15 and 20, because it's gonna be ranging between that, because that's not gonna be like a 18 exactly, but it's gonna be ranging between 20 and 15. And because as you can see right now, it's I thought I had a black screen, but I looked at the recording computer and it was also a black screen. So it's a cutscene that went to a black screen for some reason. Oh shit, this is one of her friends. All right, let me just skip this. I don't want to spoil anything, and I don't want anything for me to be spoiled, because I'm not gonna play this game right now, to be honest. Oh, I get stuck with these vines. So now I have to keep in mind that I have to fight this monster on top of needing to actually... Oh, I have no stamina. Shit. I have to wait until my stamina regenerates. Alright. I know I'm gonna die, probably, because more of them gonna show up, probably. Yep. As clockwork. And as you can see, it's 56 FPS. It went back to 56 FPS even with high instead of epic, because of all these effects that are going on in the screen. And I really want to concentrate on fighting. I don't want to oh, that was a big swing that I have to do again on this one this time. I have no stamina left. Right, this one is gonna die. Oh, yep, nope. I'm the one who's gonna die. Come on, I just healed. Come on. I'm the one who's gonna... I knew it. I'm gonna be crucified. Yep. Okay, now let's redo this fight at 1080p. Let me make this overlay a little bit smaller and reset the 1% lows. And let's do this fight again. Right now, I'm gonna only do, you know, small moves at a time so I can dodge. And I really hate that stop frame when you like hit the target. I don't like it. All right, the new ones are gonna show up. Oh, one of them right behind me. Oh, I can take the time to smash some hits into this one. And then a big one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play it smart with these. All right, before we continue, let's just go and enable FSR quality, and on high settings still. Let's go enable FSR quality, which is gonna be balanced in the settings, but it's gonna be FSR quality overall. And let's go back from 70s to 90s. Now it's like 100. Okay, not bad. And the 1% lows are in the 90s for now. I don't know how long is it gonna stay like that. Hopefully forever. Okay, I forgot they get stunned when I actually hit them with that big hit. Stamina is everything in this game. Stamina. Okay, come at me. I thought she was gonna come at me, but she didn't. Oh, yep. I got my stamina back with that perfect dodge. Alright. Those were the last of them. Last of Us. She went full Ellie in that scene. That's why I remember The Last of Us. Okay, so I reached the point that I didn't want to spoil anything for you further, so I restarted the game again. And as you can see right now, this is the beginning of the game. 1080p, very high everything, and no upscaling. It's 47. This is, as I said before, this is the most intensive area of all of 2 hours or 3 hours that I played of the game. And I didn't see anything more intensive than this. The rice field, or like the fog field within the mannequins it's comparable, but it's not really. I don't know. I didn't really put them side by side, as you can see, 1080p, and very high settings. So right now, let's drop it to high settings instead, without any upscaling. As you can see right here, it is. Let me just make this. I don't think that I can make it smaller. I'm stuck with it right here because the 1080p is so big. With 1080p it's so big. Let's go. I was gonna show you that it's actually 1080p, just 1080p, even though it says FSR quality here. And let's just go from very high to high, and see again from 43 to 73. This is a big jump in frame rate, and the 1% lows, even though I reset them. They realized that they have been reset. And it's using 5 gigabytes of VRAM. Now it's 6. 73 FPS, which is pretty good on high settings instead of very high. On 1080p, because you don't really want to be using like aggressive upscaling on 1080p, especially with FSR in 1440p and up. You can use FSR performance, but in 1080p you're stuck in balanced. Is the maximum, and even in balanced, it still lacks the detail of DLSS 4. But for 1440p and 4K, it's fine. All right, let's actually go and use FSR on quality, which is balanced in the settings. It's giving me 100 FPS without even any frame generation. Frame generation is disabled, as you can see. It's not active for the moment, and yeah, I mean, it's if you want to play at 1080p on high settings instead of very high, it's looking good. It's playable. Using 6 gigabytes of VRAM. But again, like if you want to use the FSR quality, FSR 4 quality is actually pretty good. Just put everything back to, like, if you want, this is if you want, just put everything back to very high, and enjoy the graphics that are. Oh yeah, I can use DLSS because I'm using DLSS inputs. Yeah, let's go back to the game. And as you can see, it dropped from 100 FPS to 73 FPS, the same as no upscaling with the high settings instead of very high. Now with Lumen, Epic Lumen and everything, the game looks a little bit beautiful. It's actually has a quite moderate impact on the visuals. It looks good, I'm not gonna lie. It looks better than Lumen High. But again, you're still using Lumen, you're still using ray tracing feature if you drop it back down to high. Yeah, I mean, enjoy the visuals. And this GPU is pretty capable of doing anything. I mean, even at 4K with FSR performance and frame generation, it was like 120 FPS. At 1440p, like 120 FPS, only like FSR quality. You don't really need FSR performance, and it can reach 100 FPS. And at 1080p, you could reach 200 FPS with just FSR quality. And yeah, this is a good thing that this game took its time to be optimized. And as you can see, it didn't stutter even once. In this test run, I played like now it's been like an hour or something of gameplay, and no stutter at all. I mean, the CPU is pretty much very powerful for this GPU, so it's not gonna. But again, Unreal Engine 5, even if you have the most powerful CPU and the most powerful GPU, it's gonna stutter. Except for this game right now, with the 3090 it stuttered twice. This GPU didn't stutter even once, and yeah, I mean, if you find this video informative or entertaining, press like or press dislike. Subscribe to the channel, that helps me a lot. Like the video, also that helps me a lot. And see you in the next video. Have a good day.